Under Leo's bed lived not dust bunnies, but a creature of shadow and teeth named Morgus. Morgus was roughly the size of a beanbag chair, perpetually smelled of old socks and sulfur, and possessed an insatiable appetite for things Leo disliked, primarily his enemies. School was a minefield of potential targets. There was Chad, the bully who always stole his lunch money, Tiffany, who snickered at his worn-out shoes, and a rotating cast of teachers who seemed to delight in assigning mountains of homework. Morgus, with his gleaming eyes and surprisingly silent movements, was Leo's secret weapon. One Tuesday, Chad found himself inexplicably missing after taunting Leo during recess. The next week, Tiffany's locker was found overflowing with, well, no one quite knew what, but it definitely wasn't her. The whispers began. A new kid, an exchange student with an unusual pet, maybe a very hungry dog. Leo just smiled, but it was Mr. Henderson, the gym teacher, who pushed Leo to the brink. Mr. Henderson was a drill sergeant in short shorts, and his latest offense was a mandatory 5-mile run in the scorching heat, followed by an hour of burpees. That evening, as Leo nursed his aching muscles, he made a decision. The next morning, Mr. Henderson's whistle lay abandoned on the gym floor. His clipboard was askew, and a faint lingering scent of sulfur hung in the air. This time the whispers turned to shouts. The principal, a stern woman with an even sterner gaze, called Leo into her office. "Leo," she began, her voice dangerously calm, "there have been incidents, and you, young man, seem to be at the center of them." Leo's heart hammered. He gripped the worn-out strap of his backpack, where Morgus, currently in a state of contented slumber, was nestled. The monster had grown larger and a bit more enthusiastic with each meal. I don't know what you're talking about, Ms. Davies," Leo stammered, trying to sound innocent. Ms. Davies leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. "Mr. Henderson was last seen by you, Leo, and there's a rather peculiar residue in the gym, almost as if something evaporated." Just then, a low rumble vibrated from Leo's backpack. Morgus was stirring. Panic seized Leo. He knew this was it. He was caught. Without thinking, Leo bolted. He burst out of the principal's office, sprinted down the hall, and exploded out the front doors of the school. He could hear Ms. Davies' angry shouts, the pounding of her sensible shoes behind him. He ran until his lungs burned, until the school was a distant speck. He ran through the familiar streets, past his house and into the dense woods that bordered his neighborhood. He ran until he couldn't run anymore, collapsing beneath a towering oak. Morgus, sensing the danger had passed, squirmed out of the backpack, stretching his shadowy limbs. He looked up at Leo with what could only be described as a satisfied burp. Leo, still gasping for breath, managed a weak grin. He was free. He was on the run, sure, but he was free, and he had Morgus. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Leo knew one thing for certain. As long as he had Morgus, no enemy, no mean teacher, no burpee-loving gym instructor would ever get the best of him again. His monster was always ready to devour. And Leo, he was just getting started.